I need time to think it over while I finish up this drink.
Guys, a real quick video tonight. I'm out here doing another video. I got an email from a guy named Ben Robinson, and he was asking me what my sharpening method was for these hand planes, so I thought I'd do a real quick video here and kind of show him. It might interest some other people also. But sharpening up my Lee Nelson number 48 tone and groove plane here tonight. I'm using it on some oak on the coffee table build that we're doing on the other video series. There's a little bit of rust in here in the middle, which is very aggravating because I go out of my way to try to keep these hand planes rust free, but it happens. But if you do get rust on your planes, this stuff right here is awesome. This is a Boeshield makes this, and I'll put a link down below where you can find this stuff. I'll put a link to everything I show in this video down below in case you guys are interested in it. It works really good. You spray it on. Get you a little pad here to rub it off there, as long as it's not too deep, it'll come right off. If it's deep, you may have to do a little grinding, but I keep a good check on my tools. Try to keep the rust at bay usually. Of course, I say that while I'm taking rust off. But anyways, I usually do a pretty good job at this. But if you do develop rust, and everybody will. I live in the mountains of Tennessee. It's extremely humid here in the summer. It's about impossible to keep all the rust off your hand tools during the summertime. This stuff right here works great. So we'll get the rust off here. I'll move on to the sharpening stones over here, and I'll show Ben how I sharpen these things. Now I very rarely have to do any grinding. I sharpen my planes so much, or my plane irons rather, that 99% of the time just a quick honing on some stones here is all they need. And what I got here is a piece of white oak as my holder. And the reason I'm using white oak is it's as good as pressure treated lumber. When you put water on it or fluids or anything, it will last a long time and not rot on you. And I just got a little indention here I cut out. It changes my stones in and out. Now let's use the holdfast here to attach it to the bench. But these are, this is a DMT stone. If you watch Paul Sellers, a real good woodworker on YouTube, he uses these for his sharpening. That's all he uses is these stones. A little bit of Windex here on this stone is all you need. And I don't use a honing guide for this little iron right here. It's got two small little edges right there, as you can see. It's not very hard to find the profile for sharpening. Now, the good thing about these DMT stones are that you don't have to flatten them. They stay flat. As usual, my workbench is shaking everywhere. But come this winter, I'll be rectifying that problem. And I'll build a proper workbench this winter. I can feel the burr right there on the back. Like I said, there's 3 grits on this stone. I think 200, 600, and 1200 if I remember right. They're labeled as coarse, fine, and extra fine is how they label them when you buy them. Real good stones though to start out with when you're sharpening. One good thing about them is, like I said, you never have to worry about them being flat. They stay flat. At least that's what they say. So here we go. This is the coarse stone, or the fine stone. First one was the coarse. Get that off. So that was the fine right there. So we had the coarse, the fine, now the extra fine, which I think is 1200. If I remember right. Just using Windex. You can use water or anything like that, but old Paul Sellers says use Windex, and he's been doing this longer than I've been alive, so I'm going to take his word for it. So this iron right here was nowhere near being dull. I was using it earlier, and I did notice it started to lose a little bit of a sharpness to it. You can see right there, got that nice mirror polish going on. And we've not even went to the Japanese water stones yet. There's Cosmo walking around the shop looking for spilled hide glue on the floor. She loves that hide glue. She could just eat it up. Now we're going to go to our Japanese water stones. And the first side of it is 1000 grit. Something you have to do here, these Japanese water stones, is keep them flat because they will lose their flatness over time. And this is a DMT plate, and these things are about $200. They ain't cheap. I've had this on for about 4 years. But you just lay that on there to flatten your stone. So the same thing again, the same sharpening pattern. No ruler trick on this stuff, no secondary bevel, just a single bevel is what I like to do. I like to keep it simple. When you start using these water stones, you can really start seeing that mirror polish come up here. It sounds like Causey is down here eating wood. Yep, she's eating wood. Go to the bat just a little to knock off the burr. I'll have to knock off the burr as I go. Some people wait to the very end of the sharpening before they knock off the burr. I like to do it every time I go up these high grit stones. I do it after every sharpening here as I move on up. Put this stone over to 8000 grit. Now this stone here came from Lee Nelson. I'll put a link down below. I don't know what brand of Japanese stones they're selling now. This is the Oishi stone. There's several different manufacturers, but I'll put a link down below and see if they still sell this one. If not, whatever they're selling is probably pretty good stuff. That is plenty sharp enough right there. I'll move on to the last part here, and this is the leather strop. I always want to do this on the very end of sharpening. It don't matter if I'm doing a knife or an axe or chisel or anything. This little compound here charges it up and gets it ready. I just find my bevel and I go backwards against the edge. And I don't know how many times I do this. I usually count to about 25 or 30. That's usually about all it takes. It's just really polishing up that edge and getting rid of any remainder burr that's on the edge. And if you can get this process down and do it pretty fast, like I said, in 3 or 4 minutes I can hone up an iron and be back to working. It'll really increase your productivity, and it will motivate you. There's nothing as motivating as a sharp tool in your hand, in my opinion. When I first learned how to sharpen these tools, it was one of the best motivators I ever had for woodworking. The burr off there. This thing is like a mirror on here. Get the camera to pick it up. It's a mirror polish on there. It doesn't take very long at all to get that. And if you stay on top of your sharpening and you don't hit any metal or any nails in your lumber, you'll never need a grinder. You just have to do that operation every time you use that tool. And it's not a big deal at all. How the sharpening went. See, cutting through there with ease.
You see faces